Okay, we got a question here. Got a question. Hey, California, you must be really weak by now after being a vegan for an entire year. Right, vegans protein deficient. Where do you get your protein from, brah? Brah? I don't know where you get your protein from, but I get mine. A lot of mine from leafy greens, which are low fat. This here is dino kale. Very tasty. Tastes kind of like broccoli. I'd recommend trying some dino kale. This is from the farmer's market. So you say, nah, man, plants don't have any protein. Plants don't have protein, man. You gotta eat chicken. You gotta eat some beef. Let me tell you something. On here, chronometer, we look at 142. This right here is Earthbound Farm Organics Deep Green Blends. These are also organic kale. But this is a good brand. I like this baby kale. They're really tender. Really, really good. It's 142 grams of baby kale. That would be probably like one nice salad right there for you in the evening time. And if you ate 142 grams of kale, you're going to get 4.7 grams of protein and 71 calories. So for that amount of kale, you're getting 4.7 grams of protein and 71 kilocalories. Now, let's say you want to get some ground beef. Let's say you want to get some ground beef and compare it. So if you get ground beef, 80% lean, for 142 grams, you're going to get 35.9 grams of protein. But that's 360.7 calories. A lot of that's from fat. You don't need that much fat, especially saturated fat. Not good. So, to put that in perspective, and you're also getting no carbohydrate. With kale, you're getting carbohydrate. So, you got to fuel your brain because the brain runs exclusively on carbohydrate. So, if we look at the ratios, we're looking at the ratios here. So you got, for the same amount of kilocalories as 142 grams of beef, which is 360 calories. If you ate 360 calories of kale, you'd be getting 23.5 grams of protein. So let's put that in perspective. For the same amount of kilocalories, beef versus kale, 35.9 versus 23.5. It's a difference of what? About 11, somewhere in there. 11 grams of protein. Now look here. If you eat the beef, you're getting 23 grams of fat. And some of that's saturated fat. If you eat the kale, for the same amount of calories, you're getting 6.5 grams of fat. Nice. So, and let's take a look at the micronutrients. So for kale, you're going to be getting 400% of your vitamin A. This is for a serving of 142 grams, that box that I just showed you. Vitamin C, 189%. Vitamin K, essential for clotting in your body. Blood clotting, that is. 834% of your daily recommended value. 50% of your folate. Okay, where am I get my calcium from? 21% of your daily recommended calcium. This is according to Chronometer. 13% of your fiber. 26% of your iron. I don't know, where do you get, I get mine from the leafy greens. Where do you get yours from? You say, where do you get your fat from? More likely. Mm-hmm. And we look at the lowest amino acid is methionine, which you're only getting 6% of your daily value. And my chronometer is set up as a 226, where 20% of my total intake comes from carbs. 20% of my total caloric intake comes from protein, 20 comes from fat, and 60 comes from carbohydrates. So I'm actually not even on an 80-10-10 diet, and I'm still losing weight. And I eat as much as I want. I mean, some days I'm actually probably closer to 80-10-10 than 226. But I just want to be a little bit more reasonable for you guys out there that believe a 80-10-10 diet might be too strict or too radical, if you will. So, if you ask the question to a vegan where they get their protein from, the answer is that I get it from the same place that those PBR bulls get their protein, from plants. And I don't know if you watched any PBR lately, but there's guys out there wearing mandatory chest protectors, and there's guys out there that are voluntarily wearing helmets with cages, mask cages, because those animals can cause some serious harm, and they are strong. They're a lot stronger than any strongman I have seen to date. So, if you went heads up, like going playing football, back in the day they used to go heads up in the pit. I don't think they do that anymore because there's too much risk for injury. But strongman versus PBR bull heads up in the pit, no contest. PBR bull every time.